You ever think about quitting your job to become a full-time content creator? It sounds like a dream, right? Well, let's talk about what nobody else is going to tell you. I started creating content 3 years ago. I had a video that went viral on TikTok, and I said, this seems like fun. I can do this. So I bought digital marketing courses and I started to learn and learn and learn and learn. And I honestly thought that as soon as I started, I was going to be famous. I was going to get a bunch of followers and I was going to make millions of dollars. But that's not actually the reality. And today I'm going to pull back the curtain on what it really means to be a full-time content creator and the stuff I wish somebody would have told me before I took the leap. Let's get into it. Welcome to Random Candace Thoughts. I'm Candace, mom, nana, content creator, and your favorite Florida chick with a million ideas. This is where I share my unfiltered take on life, business, and all the random things that pop into my head. So let's get into it. Today, we're talking about what I wish I knew before I became a full-time content creator. And let me tell you, there are so many things that people just don't talk about. I assumed I was just going to wake up, create content, catch a brand deal, and go lay on the beach, sip margaritas, make $1 million. I wish. The reality is, it's a mix of hustle, chaos, and constantly wondering if the platforms are out to ruin your life. I had no idea what I was getting into when I went all in on content creation. So if you've ever thought about quitting your job to do this full time, or if you're already in it and you're feeling like you're struggling, this episode's for you. So let's talk about what people think it is versus what it actually is. The reality of actually being a full-time content creator. People just see these videos, they see the content, they see people posting about brand deals or going on trips, and they assume, wow, that must be so easy. But what you don't see is the never ending to-do list, because creating the content is really only 20% of the job. Another thing you don't see is the mental stress of constantly coming up with fresh ideas, staying relevant, and making sure you stand those algorithm games. One week you're up, and the next week your engagement tanks and you're questioning your entire strategy and the income roller coaster. Let's be real. Some months are great, and some months you're wondering if you should apply for a job. Nobody prepares you for that. Here's 5 things that I wish I would have known beforehand. Like I said before, content creation is only 20% of the job. I used to think that I would spend my days making a couple videos, but no, in all actuality, it's answering emails, negotiating contracts with brands, helping clients, sending invoices, chasing down payments, your numbers and your analytics in the platforms to see what's working and what's not. And then you post, you engage, you have to keep up with the trends. And I went from thinking I was just going to be a content creator to realizing that I'm also my own manager, accountant, marketer, customer service representative, PR manager. And that was a pretty rude awakening for me. Number two, brand deals are not as easy or as lucrative as they seem. People assume that you have this big follower count and brands will just start throwing at money at you, but that's not true at all. In fact, most of the brands will try to lowball you big time. I once did a video for a brand. I didn't have to do any editing, it was just filming, but there was a script and everything. And it took a couple days. I got $50 and a couple new outfits. So they lowball you pretty hard. And you can expect to deliver a large amount of content for a tiny budget sometimes. And then they're going to want the proof that you can drive the traffic to the site. So you're going to have to show some type of analytics. I get it. Brand deals can be amazing, but they take work. pitching, negotiating, revising contracts. And if you don't know your worth, you will 100% get underpaid. So if you are a creator, you've got to learn how to negotiate. There are creators with half your following making triple what you make just because they know how to ask for it. Number three, the algorithm is not your friend, but you can understand each other. And I know this one's going to hurt because one day you're going to be killing it on social media and your videos are popping off, engagement's high. The next day, nothing. No views, no engagement, nothing. The algorithm is unpredictable. And if you're relying on it to grow, you'll just drive yourself crazy. So the biggest lesson there is to just diversify, build an email list, be on more than one platform, omnipresence, and have multiple income streams. Number four, burnout is real. Burnout is really real. It's like a roller coaster where you go up and down. Sometimes you're in hustle mode, posting every day, chasing every trend, saying yes to literally everything, and then the next you crash. Burnout in content creation is so sneaky because it doesn't always feel like exhaustion. It feels like you are hating the things that you used to love doing, that you're feeling drained every time you even have to post. And sometimes it makes you feel like you're losing motivation just because it's not fun. And if it's not fun, what's the point? But the worst part is when you're burnt out, your content suffers. People can see it. Be intentional, but don't force the content if you're drained, if you're tired. You've got to take breaks and remind yourself that quality is definitely more important than quantity. And number five, you've got to get comfortable with selling yourself because you're the brand. And I used to hate the idea of selling, right? Salesy. It just feels like cringe. But the truth is, if you want to make a living doing this, you have to sell yourself. You have to market, whether it's brand deals, your own digital products, coaching, or any type of services that you provide. You cannot be afraid to talk about your offers. And honestly, you're already doing it. Every time you rave about a favorite shirt or a pair of pants, you're selling it. You're just not getting paid for it. And once I realized that, I stopped feeling weird about promoting myself. And now I actually love monetizing online in ways that feel right to me and are aligned with my community and my audience. Today's segment is Story Time with Candace. And I just want to give my story about why I started doing this and where I am now. So, like I said in the beginning, I had just retired from the Air Force. I was just posting fun videos on TikTok, and I posted a video that happened to go viral. And I realized that this was fun. It was something I could do, it was something I wanted to do. So, again, I dove in. I bought courses and I researched and I learned for an entire year. That's all I did. And then for an entire year, all I did was test. Now we're on year three where I can teach other people. And I say all that because it takes time. This is not an easy road. It's not a path that's going to be clearly laid out for you. Sometimes you're going to have to lay the pavement yourself. And you have to be strong enough to do that in mind, body, and spirit. Being a content creator has been the best thing that we've ever decided to do, but it isn't always easy. And I think that's something, if you're listening right now, and if you're making that decision, just remember that it's not an easy road and your mindset needs to be right and ready to prepare for the journey that you're going to go on. With that being said, I do want to bring you now to Oliver's Light, which is a segment where I try and highlight something small but powerful that brings light into the world. And it is in honor of my grandson, Oliver, who passed in January. It's my way to honor him and make sure that even in grief, his light still shines. One thing that losing Oliver has taught me is that time is truly, truly our most valuable resource. And that applies to everything, our life, our work, our energy. And I used to waste so much time worrying about things that were silly, that were inconsequential, numbers, algorithms, other people's opinions. But now I try to remind myself every day what really matters. In fact, on my computer, I have a quote that says, "What three things are you grateful for today?" as a reminder to myself that I should be grateful every single day of my life. If content creation starts feeling like a chore, if I'm chasing things that don't actually fulfill me, I know it's time to step back and refocus because I don't want to lose my time. So if you're a creator or you're thinking about becoming one, just remember that your time is precious. So use it wisely. And with that being said, let's wrap it up. If you're thinking about going full time, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying go in with your eyes wide open. This can be an amazing career, an amazing business, amazing experience. It's fun, it's creative, it's artistic, it's freeing, but it's also a lot of work. If you are a creator or you want to be one, send me a DM, comment below, or just share your thoughts with me in other ways. I'd love to hear if any of this resonated with you. That's a wrap on this episode of Random Candace Thoughts. Got a random thought of your own? Share it with me on social media at Just a Marketing Chick or Just a Florida Chick. And if you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review for me, because it just helps more people find our podcast. Until next time, stay random and keep chasing those dreams.